Hi, my name is Magnus. I've been helping Hollywood actors and artists to get in superhero shape. If you want more tips on nutrition and training, follow me on Instagram. So today's video is going to be how I became a trainer in Hollywood. I'm going to do my best to take you guys with me on my journey from a little boy in Sweden up until now. So here it goes. I've been working with health and fitness for a little more than 20 years, and about 10 of them I've been based here in LA. I've been touring the world with artists, and I've been on some of the biggest movie sets. Some of the clients I work with include Katy Perry, Britney Spears, Dua Lipa, Harry Styles, Mike Posner, Avicii, Michael Bolton, James McAvoy, Sarah Paulson, Alicia Vikander, Mark Ruffalo, Gal Gadot, Ben Affleck, Gordon Ramsay, and many more. Starting from the beginning, my first memories of a gym was going with my father, and I was about 3 years old, always packing my bag filled with toys, sitting in the corner, playing with my cars and watching my daddy lift. I was kind of born into it, and my father's been a big inspiration. So I was born in northern Sweden with Finnish-Swedish parents. When I was about 6, we moved to southern Sweden. That's when I really started doing a lot of physical activities. I did everything from playing soccer, tennis, swimming, dancing, and ice hockey. Growing up, I was interested in the human body, and I was actually thinking about becoming a doctor, but I realized that, sitting still in an office wasn't for me. By the end of my school years, I played hockey at a pretty high level, but I felt like I wanted something else in life. I was sitting in a locker room every day with the same guys and talking about the same thing, and I just had this desire to do more. So I canceled my contract and I bought a one-way ticket to Spain, the Canary Islands. I had a hotel for a week, and I just took a leap of faith. Before that week was over, I had found this crappy apartment that I could live in, and I also got a job at a bar pulling in tourists. After a couple of months, I managed to get a job for a big Scandinavian touring company doing excursions, taking people from the airport. So these 2 minimum wage jobs taught me so much that I still use every day. How to give people service, how to solve problems, how to be responsible. After a year in the Canaries, I once again wanted to explore more, so I left that behind. I traveled the world, spent some time in Thailand, and somehow ended up in Greece, where I was planning on staying and working. Already after a month in Greece, I felt like I wanted to get back and get educated and do something else with my life. So me and a friend decided to fly back to Sweden, to Stockholm, and get certified as personal trainers. And that's exactly what we did. So this is back in year 2000. And as soon as I got my certification, I started to work immediately. Most trainers start as employees, but I really wanted to run my own business. So I went with that route, which is a pretty difficult one and not for everyone. So my first gym that I worked out of was actually owned by the Swedish Jane Fonda. So I grew up with her doing aerobics on national TV every Saturday morning. So that was pretty exciting. So time goes by and I managed to build up a really good clientele, everything from Swedish actors and artists to CEOs and athletes. One day, a producer walked in the door named Max Martin, which happens to be one of the most successful music producers in the industry. So Max and I worked really well together. We have a similar work ethic and we're getting some really good results. After a while, Max starts sending me some of his international artists that are coming to Stockholm to work with him. He also starts taking me with him when traveling. And this is my first experience seeing what the life of an artist really means. People have no idea what an artist is going through. My assumptions were challenged when I started traveling with these artists. I was going from time zone to time zone. I saw how these people are waking up in a new bed every day. And I don't mean it like that. I mean in a new hotel room, in a new city every day. You go from show to show, it's TV promotion, empty dressing room, to 20,000 people screaming your name, back to an empty dressing room, eating food out of a box in a touring bus, and then on to the next show. I realized then that artists are athletes, but without a coach. It was during this time I started creating my system, my method, the Magnus method. With an athlete, you know exactly what they need. If you have a hockey player, you know he needs explosive movements from the core and down, 1 minute intense on the ice, then he gets to rest 2 minutes. A soccer player needs something else. So why didn't people look at artists that way? So if I'm touring with an artist that's doing a 90-minute show, I need to break down what they need. I know they need 90 minutes on stage with stamina and lung capacity. They need coordination to be able to move around effortlessly. And obviously they need the looks as well. A big part of it is also what happens when you're not performing. It's not all about that 90-minute show. If I got an 8 p.m. concert, what type of breakfast should I be eating? What type of workout should I be doing to optimize that performance at night? And when should I do it? What type of warm-up should I be doing? So when I get on stage at 8 p.m., I know that I'm prepared 100% physically and mentally to be my best. And let's not forget, what do you do when you get off stage after singing in front of 10, 15,000 people? Do you jump in the shower? Do you drink 2 beers? What do you do? So this is really when the Magnus method was born. The balance between training, nutrition, good habits, bad habits, structure, and balance in life. So about 10 years ago, I took a leap of faith. I felt that I wanted to take the next level. I wanted something more in life again. And I sold everything I owned, gave away my clientele, convinced my wife to move to the US. I had an amazing career back home in Sweden. I was writing for big magazines, I was lecturing, and I had a fantastic client base. But the desire for more was always there. I knew that if I made it once, I can make it again in LA. The only thing that would stand in my way was going to be me, and that wasn't happening. So with the savings I had, I signed a lease on an apartment, knew that I was not going to be able to pay the rent for a full year. I didn't have TV or internet service for the first year because I didn't want to have the costs. It was a simple life. The first couple of months was obviously pretty rough. I was lucky that I got 3 clients that were pretty powerful within the music industry, and they all needed a life change. They were not in a good place physically and mentally. And I was fortunate to meet them and be part of that journey from darkness to light. People around them saw the change. And that's when I started getting a good reputation and things really started to take off. So after a few years of touring with artists, being the guy who helps people in the music industry with balance in life, structure, nutrition, training, touring, my next big breakthrough happened. Through common friends, I get connected with Alexander Skarsgård, who had just been casted as Tarzan. And this is back in 2014. I get together with Alex. We start talking about his character. We share the same views, we get along really well. And after talking to David Yates, who was the director of Tarzan, I was offered to work on my first Hollywood movie. All the years of preparation came to this. I had been working for many years, I had a ton of experience, and I took that with me into Tarzan, and I took the Magnus method into the movie industry. And that means that it's not all about the actual workout that happens in the gym. It's also nutrition, it's the structure, it's the balance. And I'll be making a video about this in the future, how I work on a movie set, but that's a different story. After all these years, I've learned so much, and I still got a ton to learn. I want to pass on some experience and knowledge to people that want to make the same journey as me. First of all, there's no shortcuts. Put in the time, put in the hours. And I say that only because people think they can take that jump right away and start establish themselves in Hollywood. But you have to understand that it's thousands of hours of work with regular people, trying different diets, learning, failing, succeeding. All those hours, all that experience is preparing you for when you get that one opportunity. So be patient, play the long game. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Don't cheat, learn the fundamentals and stick to them. Be open to learning new things. I learn something every single day I wake up. Every single client can teach me something. Every single trainer I meet will teach me something. Don't think you know it all. It's not always your way's the best way. Be okay with being uncomfortable. You need to be able to put yourself in uncomfortable situations to grow. If you've been listening to my story, you can see that I've been doing that constantly. I've been seeking out discomfort to be able to grow. Dream big, work hard, and take action. Thank you for allowing me to share my story. I hope you learned something that you can take with you from my journey. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and comment below and let me know what you want to see in the future. If you want to get in the shape of your life, go on magnusmethodapp.com where I have several superhero programs, but also body weight workouts. I've been making these videos for about 2 months now, and I appreciate all the support, and I hope I see you next week.